Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Ahmaduhu wa asta'inuhu wa astadihi wa astaghfiruhu wa uminu bihi jalla wa ala wa la akfuruhu wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. As-salahu bil huda wa dinil haq liyudhhiruhu ala din kulihi wa la kariha al-mushrikun. All praise belongs to Allah. We praise Him, we seek His help, His assistance, and His guidance. We believe in Him and do not disbelieve in Him. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is a servant and messenger. Allah sent him, that is Muhammad, with Deen al-Haq, the religion, the way, the methodology of truth. This way of life known as Islam will rise to its proper position in the world, whether the mushriks like it or not. The title of the talk today, first of all, today is November
26th.
26th. Okay, no, Sunday, November 26th. All right, and the title of the talk is Grateful Experience. Okay, all of you know that I just went out to Oakland. I'm back here in D.C., and I couldn't have been gone no more than a week or so, a little more than a week. But I had a real grateful experience, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to try to be brief. I don't want to be no longer than an hour. But in movement time, time is not linear, like 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. You may have an encounter. It may encapsulate years of normal experience, just 1, 2, 3 days. You know, there's some events in our life that change our whole perspective, or something has been building up over a long period of time in our life, or we've been searching for some solution and asking questions, and all of a sudden you go to bed and you wake up, or you wake up in the middle of the night and it hits you like a flash. Has that ever happened? It just answers years of questions, and it happens to everybody. It's in Revelation, it's called Minwari Hijab, from behind a veil. Or it could be not like Ilham. Ilham, Revelation go in 3 basic stages. What prophets get, they get it, the whole show. They get it in words. It's not ambiguous. It's not. The second stage is Minwari Hijab, from behind a veil. Now, you and I, all of us can get that. And we can get things in a flash. You know what I mean? Like, bam! That was 10 years of experience just in a flash. This experience, this arrest, 2 arrests that we have in Oakland, I'm going to try to relate to you briefly those arrests, how they happen from our perspective and what they mean to me personally, and an idea of what they mean to the movement. And I don't want to spend much time on that. Okay. First of all, here we've been preparing to go out there for like almost a year. If you remember, well, we're going to go before Ramadan. Then we're going to go, well, since it's getting close, we might as well prepare for Ramadan. Then as soon as the Eid, we're going to California. When the Eid is, well, we got Eid al-Adha coming up in about 62. It's usually about 62, 63 days after Eid. So we might as well hang around and knock that over. And then after that, we're ready to go now. But every day we're putting it off a little bit. We're putting it off. And we're saying, I'm ready to go. I'm almost packed up. And then now near the end, about a month before we leave, I think I told y'all, now this is the last I think, 7 or 8 times, Okay, this is gonna be the last one. So, can you hurry up and get me those things? Cause, that's it. I'm getting ready to go with that. I remember 4 or 5 times of that myself. And y'all got better memories than me, probably is 7 or 8. I don't know, Allah knows best. And then Brother Tufel and I had a lot of conversation. Man, I'm packing up. I'm going out there and I'm going to do this. And we're going to challenge the system. We're going to hit the court system. We're going to hit the legal system. We're going to do. So I'm taking at least 3 sections of documents. I'm going to have all the documents in order, to present to the attorneys, and I'm going to have at least 3 because I'm going to approach more than one attorney, right? So I got those documents in file in order, and I have them in my, those mail boxes, those little mail crates, the plastic ones? Okay, I got that full of some of the type of literature that I give y'all every now and then. Some little historical document, some times I went to jail, some this and that. I've given out that type of thing. Okay, now I got all of them in order, but I got everything copied, everything laid out perfectly for when I go to an attorney, I can explain, this is what I think this case is about, and here's the information. Okay. So, I'm gonna skip forward. Now, I went through that for 2 weeks. Well, I'm ready to go. I've got my papers in order. I'm getting my papers in order. I got more papers in order, and I went through this with Brother Tufel. I went with him on the phone, everything. Now, when I go to California, I have 2 sets of papers, one in my normal briefcase that I carry, and the other in the mail tray. And each one can back up the other, So, when I go and I'm in the Masjid, first of all, the Masjid is that stuff about the great work that they're not doing anything at the Masjid. Maybe they bring somebody. It was junk all over the place. It was a hole in the ceiling, where the water runs down, buckets all over the Masjid. It was, and I took pictures of it, by the way. It was, the hole in the roof, I would say it was about 4 by 4 or 3 by 4, something like that, 4 by 4, just torn out. And it was disorganized, and you could tell when a place is used. They may go there once for Juma, and they had put chairs all in there like that they're feeding, had tables like they're feeding the people and all of that. But I could tell that that wasn't what was going on. Maybe they did it once every now and then. But anyway, in fact, one of the people outside asked me, "You guys gonna open up again?" And the other thing is, nobody came by there while I was there. One guy happened to come by, and he said he hadn't been by in a long time. Palestinian brother. So, when I got to Oakland, I'm staying in the Masjid, and every time I leave, I would take my briefcase and a box of literature with me. Every time I leave, I went to the store. If I went, I would take them out and put them in the car with me. Now, the Masjid is monitored, so what are they looking at? They're saying, from here, they've heard already that this is what I'm taking. And out there, I'm laying it on them, so they got to get that stuff. They got to get it. Because I'm treating it so like, here I go. Okay, now this is all on purpose. I know them, and I know how they were going to respond. I'm exciting them so that they got to get at both the briefcase And they definitely have to good at that box of papers. Because even when I talk on the phone, yeah, I got my box of paper, okay. There's a purpose behind this, which we'll talk about later on. But, so, one night as I'm getting ready to go out, it just turned dark, it's a little past Maghrib time. I go to the door, and I take my box and set it by the door, and then I take my briefcase and set it by the door. Then I open the door. And then, when I pick up my briefcase, I have my briefcase in my hand, I'm gonna put it in the car, then I'm gonna come back and get the box. When I open the door, you know what they have them, what they call them, SWAT teams, rifles with scopes, putting out little red lines and all that? Mm-hmm. All that is right on the brother. Cars, I don't know how I missed it, but there are the cars. There's, before it would be about 12 cars, this was at least 12 to 15 cars. Now this time, when I look, this is the SWAT team is right there facing me. The SWAT team with the rifles pointed at me could be 12, 16, maximum 20 feet away. From the door to the sidewalk and the width of a car, because they're leaning the rifle. The point man is leaning his rifle almost on my car. So, all right, come on out of there. You know, I'm already stepped through the thing, through the door, through the threshold. I'm already technically out of the building. And they're gonna make sure that I don't go back in the building. Come on out. So I come on out. And I go to my usual verbiage. Now, what's wrong with y'all? What y'all doing? Pointing these rifles at me. Must be going crazy. They're the regular color stuff. I give them that for this is the show. This is normal. Turn around, put your head on the wall, then down, back up slowly. They put the handcuffs on me, then they put me in a car. 50 feet away, 50, 60, 100 feet away. Okay. What's this all about? Well, we got a call that said there's a man with guns, and in the Masjid, in this temple, there's a man with a gun in here. There's somebody vandalizing the building, and all of that stuff. This is what they're saying to me. That the reason they're here is because there's a terrorist inside with guns. Okay, now, I called Tufel twice and I told him this. I said, Brother Tufel, these people is crazy. They got me under 24-hour surveillance. And I said, of course, you know, I would call him, I'd tell him I'm at the Motel 6, and the first stop, because I stopped at hotels this time. I don't usually just sleep in the car, you know. But I said, I'm going to cruise and have a good time. So first stop was a Motel 6 in Kansas. Yeah, it was in Kansas. Past, a couple hours past Topeka, was it Grand Junction? Something like that. So anyway, after that, I told him at the next stop that I stopped was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So I called him, I said, yeah, man, them people is real slow. I said, see, look. I said, they think they got me under 24-hour surveillance, but what I did was, I said, now look, this is what I did. I say, I have people that I pretend like I was looking for a Motel 6 the other night when I was coming down from Colorado to New Mexico. You know, where you drive off the highway, then drive back on. Pretending that I'm looking for a Motel 6. I know which Motel 6 I'm going to. I haven't been over these highways 200 times. So I'm going to the one in Albuquerque. So when I get to Albuquerque, New Mexico, I get my room and everything, and it's perfect because I get there at a time when if you get there around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, you can stay up to 11 and then to the other day. If you get there before that, you have to check out at 11. Okay, so I got there at 4:30. He said, if you wait another few minutes, if you wait another hour, you can stay on till because that ain't gonna be enough rest. A few hours, you know, from 5 or 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock, that ain't gonna cut it. So it's just like I wanted, a long, nice long rest. I got my weights with me, and it was a wonderful trip. Anyway, so I check in, and I let Tufel know. I said, see, these people don't know how I work. See, they don't know that, see, I can do anything I want. I can have people waiting for me at a pre-arranged spot in the same hotel, and they don't know that I didn't have the people arranged to be there, which they don't. And, you know, I could leave my door cracked when I go out. I could leave so they're not watching my room and have somebody drop by, drop anything I want. So that's what I'm telling them. I said, these people are stupid. I say, so I'm telling them this is what I did, which I may have done it hundreds of times before in the past, but I'm telling them, yeah, man, this is what I did to them dummies, and they think they can actually watch you 24/7 and you can't do nothing. Well, if you believe that, you can't. So what I'm telling them is a true thing that has happened, but it hasn't happened. That's where the guy with guns and the terrorist stuff come in, because the way I'm talking to Tufel is, what I'm telling you, there's an arranged event. Two things that they got to find out for sure. Number one, I got all the paperwork, real paperwork, for the casework that I'm ready to present to the legal stuff for California, for what's going on. And we're going all the way with it. It don't make no difference what, remember I told you I visualized a Supreme Court type thing, that this is part of our mission. So remember, don't forget, our mission is different than what it started out to be. When we started out, we're going to build a community, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, da 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 da. They got other Muslims now that have communities all over America. They have many. But they have a masjid, they have a whole apartment complex, they own property, they got plenty of those. But it don't mean anything. In the old days, it was very important. During Imam Jamil's time, in our early stages, this is what we visualized. This is a part of our mission here, to show people that you can own your own property, you can progress in the hardest of time. That is a part of our mission, and it always has been. But there's the other part of our mission right now is, we all recognize it, we talk about it all the time, is to show people, is to be an example, to be a standard bearer for justice, to show people inside America and outside that a small group like us can face the grand United States itself including the Zionists and including the Saudis. All of us here know that when you open something and you see the Zionists have planted something, everybody knows that we're dealing with the Zionists. When anybody here, I know you've experienced it a lot, this is the Shia Masjid, that Saudi brand, that Daesh, ISIL foolishness, have been a part of this community from day one. None of it is true, but that is, they spread that like it's a fact, right?
Yeah.
That's just, okay, but here we are. Of course it's a miracle. It's never happened before in history. So part of our mission is that, to be a sample example, to be a model, to show people what we always say, this stuff is possible because we're doing it. This stuff is possible because you're seeing it right there in the last year or two. But you have all of the old stuff too. This is not a new struggle. Okay, so we are living out our mission right on the air every week. And now we have already lived through the process to show them that it's possible. And we are relatively intact. Okay, we have, let's say, 8 pieces of property in D.C. Okay, as soon as we get some money, they take it, okay. But the things that they do to us, nobody else, if they've done 100 things to us, nobody else has survived 3 of them. Not even 1. When they attack somebody, the federal government, they're finished. That's our history. When they get tired of you, it's all over. For the brothers, for the community. That's not true with us, right? So, that's what Qad aflaha al-mu'minun. And it says the believers will be successful. Technically, Arab told me the believers are already successful. That's us right here. We're already successful. Part of that success was testing them and to see how stupid they were. We say we do it all the time. We say it almost everyone. We're going to slap the white man upside the head. This is the best example. You better say by telling them what? Every time I go out of the building, I got my briefcase and I got that. So this stuff is important, man. And I know the masjid is monitored. I know all the neighborhood. I already know that. We all know it. It's clear. They got to have it. Then I get on the phone and say, yeah, man, I really tricked them this time. When I was in Albuquerque, and then they get that nigga, don't know what did he pick up. Who met him? Who dropped off? Because see, I would go out of my room and I would leave, you know, the little latch at the thing where the door is open. The door would be open. Okay. I would make a few little doop, doop, doop. And I would make a few turns where if you're in front of me, if you're inside of me, I can go down a little place where you can't see down there because you didn't know that's where I was going. So I know how to get, I know how to get 2 minutes of clear time. Like if I'm being followed, I know how to get a minute or 2 minutes where I'm out of their visibility. You know, if you study surveillance, you can, I'm not trying to get away. I'm trying to hit a blind spot where they can't see me. They're not in front of me. They don't have a helicopter. They're not in front of me. And they don't know where I'm going. So since they don't know where I'm going, they got to be either already placed on the side, where they don't know where I'm going. They got to be right behind me. So I can sneak up I can get a couple of minutes blind spot. So anyway, I don't want to be, I swore I wasn't going to get into storytelling. But here's what happened. They had to find out. That's why they come with the SWAT team. What does the nigga have? He might be mad at the people there for the stuff they're doing. He might be heavily armed. He is number one on the so-and-so list. And they don't think I'm a humorist, they think I'm a terrorist, right? They don't believe that if I say kindness, optimism, and humor, there's a cover. There's nobody can go through the stuff we put them through and treat it with kindness and humor. Nobody else has, right? Nobody else has. And then I'm an African American. How could I be that advanced? Right? Remember, you got to know, what do they think about? A nigga is not qualified. He can't do that. That's Jesus-like stuff. Lord, forgive them. They don't know not what they do. Niggas can't do that. We're going to make them bitter. We're going to make them, okay. That's the whole thing of all the things they do, is to make you bitter and to make you mean. Now I want to tell you what was the result. Bam! There's the police. They got me handcuffed in the car. I said, okay, man, I'm really stressing it. So the briefcase is on the car. I said, yeah, man, now I want my box over there. I'm going to jail, I want my box. But I'm going to jail, they stick the little camera. I know it's the sound. I know I'm being recorded. I know I'm being recorded. Everything is being recorded. You know, the police. So I'm making the case. And like you can ask Brother Tufel, I said, the one thing about it, we're on stage, and we're going to act like we're on stage. I might have said it in the thing, we're on stage. So we're going to act heroic, like what we want people to see. Heroes do. Like if the average person go out of their house and a SWAT team and threw down on them, they would panic like it's a big deal. Now remember, I haven't called nobody and said, man, you got to get me out of jail. Oh man, I ain't said nothing. I said, I'll get out sooner or later. I'll get out sooner or later. Are you trying to run out of jail? I'm happy to be in jail. I'll go in some of the details of the arrest, but the arrest went like this. They took me out to the county jail, Santa Rita, and while I was there, Mukhtar and Khadijah came up, and Mukhtar was photographing all of my paperwork. And they was taking some of the paperwork out and giving it to Mukhtar. Mukhtar told them that I stole some of their paperwork from inside, so anything with his name on it. You know, for instance, like, remember the thing I gave you about the board of directors? It had it had his wife, it had his name, and some guy we never heard of. Okay, so yeah, that would have his name on it. So they gave him, this is all against the law, of course, they gave him, out of the paperwork that I brought, all the stuff that had his name on it. That's part of the case. Then, we'll go on to the point. I go to jail, and so when I go to jail, and when I get out a day or so later, I go to pick up my property. In the meantime, when I'm getting ready to go to jail, first I'm talking a little harsh. By the time I get there, I'm talking very nice to the police because I done came to a certain conclusion, you know. And like I told them, you guys just doing your job. You don't know what this is all about. And but I'm recorded as saying, I said last time they took $11,000 from me. I said, I'm not going to argue with y'all. This is all recorded. I said, but you took me out, you didn't let me go back in, you let that guy, this is the second, third, or fourth time this has happened. I said, don't worry, a little 20 grand in there, it don't make no difference. I said, because when I come out here, I come out to pay off this, that, and other. So it's okay, but that's on record. Because remember, they're recording me. Because the guy puts the recorder, he attaches it to the, you know, the screen in the back seat in the police car in the front. He attaches it to there. Then when we get to the county jail, he takes it off. And I say with full surprise, oh, you guys have been recording this? Oh, that's terrible. Now he even stuck it almost in my face, you know what I mean? But anyway, remember, have fun. No matter what's happening, have fun. I know if I don't make no false moves, they can't shoot me. After they get the handcuffs on me, I'm free as a bird. I'm free, I'm home free. You know, you can't shoot me with my handcuffs on, you know, because of a threat. So, when I go to pick up my property, I get my briefcase and it has the paperwork right on top of it. As soon as I open it, there's articles of incorporation, there's the deed to the property, with, they may have did some kind of, but it has the original deed, 1981, and you know when you pay the tax on it, the person paying it signs on the front of the deed, and it has Clarence Reams on it. And the address it's sent it to is Clarence Reams, 1638 Fifth Avenue, da-da-da-da. That's what it's on the, that's what's on the deed. So if anybody has a right to be there, it's me. And if somebody has changed something, well, that's for the courts to decide, at most. But if you come to this building and you got a deed and I got a deed, they can't put one of us in jail without putting the other in jail, right? They gotta say, wait a minute, hold it. We gotta say, both of you guys stay away from here until you go and solve this in the court. Or both of y'all are going to jail right now. Or both of you know what I mean? You can't say, if they didn't change something, right? Which they probably have done, because that's what we give them all that time for. Anyway, now here we are. As I said, when I went out of jail, got out of jail, I took my niece with me, and we went down to pick up my property. Because the small property is in your pockets, and they keep that at the county jail. But the briefcase and the other stuff, they don't keep there. They take that down to the property room in the city jail, right downstairs. So I have my receipts, and they give me my money back, and they give me da-da-da-da. And I said, where's my keys at? They said, ain't no keys. They came back out, took my keys, and they had went into the car. If you want to, you can click, push it up and get a little bit more heat. I don't want nobody to freeze. It's up to you, whatever you like. So anyway, guess what's not in my property? My briefcase is there with half the papers, but we don't have no box, we don't have no file box. We don't have that. But it's on my property, you know, briefcase, and it's on that. Before I went to the jail, before I went to the Oakland Police Department downtown, I stopped at FedEx, and I copied all of, you know, my property slip, the other slip that had, because I know what they're doing. Before I get there, I know it's something stupid. So, now I copy that,